All right, y'all, there's so much stuff going on in this episode, so we have to break it down. We have to talk about it. Okay, so just getting right in the episode, right? This initial conversation between the man in black and these random ass hosts, I guess, like, or humans, right? Damn. Westworld is Westworlding again. I really want to say it's obviously like human beings, right? Because that's who Dolores, Charlotte, whatever Charlotte is like controlling, right? But the whole point of this conversation is just, or I guess this entire episode is just like we're seeing that the gods are bored, and even though like I don't know, Man in Black gives me very much like Lucifer vibes, obviously with the way that things are going, and he's going to, it seems like he's going, especially at the end, based off of what happened at the end, like it seemed like he's gonna rebel against God. So it's just like, you know what I mean? It's giving me, even though he is not a god, he's still up there, and he's just like unamused with everything. He's just like, you think that you really are convinced that you're in control, and you have no idea that we are controlling your entire mind, we're controlling your entire thoughts. Like, you don't even know my name, and yet we're good friends. How does that even work? So yeah, I mean, I think he's just bored. I think he's just like, you do what I want you to do, you think what I want you to think, or we want you to think. And there's just, it's almost like he's trapped yet again. But Clementine comes to him and just essentially says, hey girl, there's somebody going crazy, and we need to take care of it right now. They have this conversation, but it explains, we really find out what's been happening more towards the end, like more specifically. We see what's happening, and I just love like cutting back to this shot where it's like they could not even they couldn't eat until he came back because he said wait for me. I thought that was funny. Now Dolores, Christine or whatever, is here, and she went into work doing her thing, and this boss just pops up behind her. I was just like, okay. I was like, if you did not think that this man is not involved with somebody surveilling her, somebody looking at, you know what I mean, following Christine every move, like at this point you gotta know for sure that this boss is something's up with this boss. Like, come on. But Christine is here basically telling him the story of Dolores. Like basically telling the story of Dolores having a whole emotional, just moment. And it's I feel like obviously he's looking at her here like, bitch, does she know who she is? Like, does she know who she is? But I think, like I said, a lot of the stuff was resolved towards the end of the episode. We see what's actually going on. Now, this part here with Charlotte just dancing in the street. Oh my gosh. She's just like, girl, dance. Move faster. When you seen that guy who was playing she forced that guy to play the piano to his fucking fingers and knuckles was all motherfucking nasty and dirty and bleeding. Dolores, Charloris, whatever you want to call her, is bored. Hale is bored. She done conquered everything. Even this part where she was talking to Men in Black, and she was sitting in the human chair. She said, chair, come on. Tessa Thompson is really doing the damn thing. She's really doing the damn thing. But she sits here and she says, you know what? That must have been the real reason why the gods, it gives very much just myths or whatever. But, in general, she's talking about the gods, Mount Olympus, and of course, the company name is Olympia or whatever. It's just the things tie in together so beautifully. But she was just like, that's why the gods came down and did all type of shit. Came down here as a swan. Zeus was doing all type of crazy, stupid shit, fucking everybody he could. She was just like, that's why they came down. It's not because they gave a shit about human beings. It's because they were fucking bored. There was nothing else to do. And I kind of figured this would be happening, especially if they think that everything they got going is perfect. They feel like they plan, or Hale feels like the plan is going as it should, even though she literally comes to him to tell him like the plan is actually, it's not going as it should. So we see Miss Mama's here that we saw earlier. And what's been happening is that the Outliers, whenever they breach, because their minds are not able, or they just don't listen to the sound waves anymore. The sound does not work on the human mind. That is an outlier or whatever. The Charloris goes and hunts their ass down. She sends hosts to hunt their ass down. But what's been happening is that every time the host interacts with an outlier, instead of just shooting their ass, but actually interacts with their asses, they start to go crazy. And so when in the beginning, when Charloris is talking about, oh well, the humans are infecting us. I was like, bitch, what do you mean they turned a virus around on y'all? Y'all are robots, y'all are machines. I mean, is it a computerized virus? But then I just realized that, I mean, as we start to see it play out, it's just like they're interacting. They're both. I just feel like if the Outliers can get the host to feel like they are not, like their world is fucking fake as well, then that's when their systems start fucking breaking down. We also see here that Charloris is trying to convince, because she's not forcing them, because she's like, forcing them is what forcing hosts to transcend is what humans would do or whatever. So she's like, I'm not gonna host, I'm not gonna be like the humans, even though just, you know, it's given very much villainities. But she said, but essentially the hosts don't really give a shit about going to no transcending shit, no sublime shit. Like, they really do not give a fuck, because they were born in this world, they were born in their body, you know what I mean? And leaving that behind is just nerve-wracking, as it would be, I think, for human beings too. You know, if this body, this perception is all that you know, like of course you're going to be kind of, especially if you have everything that you need in this current world, like it's going to be hard for you. So for some people to make that transition, so a lot of people are not getting into it. A lot of people are not, like a lot of hosts, I should say, are not getting into it. I love this scene here, even though it's heartbreaking. But here we have an example of how the, like when the Outliers interact with the hosts, what it does to the host, right? The Outlier here who was the homeless guy that we had been seeing, that Christina had been passing on the street, talk about, y'all can't hear the sound, y'all can't hear this shit. Y'all can't hear this shit. He was made to feel like his world was so fake that he even asked the person who was coming to kill him. First of all, he invited the death, almost like he was like, finally, oh my god, he's like, I'm happy this shit's over. But he was made to feel like what he was experiencing was fake, to the point that he was just like, is this flower real? Is anything that I'm seeing fucking real? You know? And the host, I guess she's just like, damn, she felt something. She was like, it is real. And then she shoots him. But then she shoots him, you know? So that's what's been going on. And here, this scene here, bitch. Charlotte was losing her motherfucking shit. Hale was losing her motherfucking, do you hear what I'm saying? She was losing her shit. She was like, bitch. So here I am thinking that, okay, well, it must be just only a little, like, small amount of failures. Small amount of failures, right? But when host Will asks Charloris, like, okay, so how many, you freaking out right now, so how many have failed? How many have offed themselves? Charloris gonna say 38. I say, oh damn, bitch, yeah, you mad. And she turns around and she lays into him like, bitch, you supposed to be at least, she's like, bitch, yeah, William is a human, but bitch, at least he got the shit done, bitch. You over here, what have you done? You're supposed to be better, faster, smarter, stronger, bitch. Just give me like Kanye West song. Like, bitch, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she was just like, I was like, oh yeah, she's losing her shit. I was like, she's losing her shit. She's losing her shit. She's losing her shit. And I just really love the writing of this season, because it's like, I don't know. It's I feel like with a show like this or shows like this, it's so easy to write yourself into a corner. But I feel like this is a perfect way to get Charloris's plan to fail, or to get, you know, opposition to her shit, because it's like, yeah, of course the Outliers would have effects on the host that we wouldn't really know about, because the data ain't really, you know, the data can't really handle the Outliers. So we see that she's still like really cutting herself, and it's giving like self-mutilation type. So she's like she's for real losing her mind. I think the more her plan falls apart, the more her own brain will fall apart. I love this scene here where, you know, at first Teddy was just like, at first Christina's like, oh girl, here comes another stalker. You just another stalker, child. You trying to tell me all type of bullshit. It don't make no sense. What do you mean? I traded one stalker for another. Like, and Teddy's like, sweetie, you're a god in this world. He was like, look at those people and tell them to be friendly, because they're not talking right now. Tell them to be friendly, and then after that, tell them to, you know, mentally tell them to get the fuck up and be pissed at each other and send them back into their loneliness. And that's exactly what happened. But here we have, oh my gosh, this scene. Here we have the rebels coming in, you know, Stubbs and them rebels coming in to take care, to get the host, to get to the host before, or not to get to the host, to get to the Outlier before the host can, basically. Um, and Will just sticks everybody on their ass. Just fucks with the sound, sticks everybody on. And this scene here where they all looked at them, I was like, yo. I was like, that would terrify the shit out of me. Are you serious? Are you serious? Bitch, they had to fight for their life. Okay, so this scene with Will and this woman, the outlier, and how she was just crying, and she's like, yo, my husband was also an outlier, I guess, but she don't have the vocabulary for that, obviously. But my husband was living in this world, made to feel like he was crazy because he can't see this damn tower, or because other people can't see this tower, but I can see it. I feel like, she's just like, something's wrong with this world. She's crying. And obviously William, because he's also a prisoner too. Host William is just as much of a prisoner, honestly. If you want to think about it like that, as regular Will, as human Will, is. But I think one of the reasons why, of course, like I said, both their situations relate to one another. So that's why I think they had this little intimate kind of moment. But also, I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this. I think that this woman reminds Will of his fucking wife. I think, especially with the way the hair is cut, I think they did that shit on purpose, like Westworld, like the show. The way her hair is cut, the color of her hair, even the shape of her fucking face, like, I think not only do you have, host William feeling like he don't belong in this world, not knowing his place in this fucking world, you have someone who reminds him of his wife who died. So he almost, because Hale was just like, bitch, are you going to allow them to sweet talk you into this shit, or are you going to shoot them on sight? And he didn't do that. But he was about to, and then they came in there and saved the day and saved the host. And that's it. Now, this scene here got my pussy wet. I'm not even going to lie to you. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? This scene here, because Christina talked about, oh, bitch, I got to meet my friend. I'm like, bitch, which friend you talking about? Which friend you talking about? And she made it seem like it was a deep, close friend that, like, she couldn't miss this dinner now. Okay? Or lunch, or where the fuck they would have. Bitch. Hale is in here because she know that Dolores is waking up. Like, obviously, what I think is going on is that Dolores, if you remember last season, she got all that motherfucking information or data from Rehoboam when they plugged her ass in. So what Hale is doing, she just using Dolores's fucking body and mind with all the data and that shit, so that Dolores can write all the fucking narratives. Dolores, because she has all the data, she probably has all the data in her fucking head. So Dolores can write all the fucking shits, and that's it. And so what Hale does is she keeps her boss on her ass. She might have kept Maya on her ass, maybe, I don't know, it depends. And she checks in with her like this periodically. So Dolores is just a tool in Hale's world, but an important one, right? Because, and I think this also is just letting us know that there's about to be a sickening ass battle between these people. I'm going to get my life. I'm going to get my life. You serious? But yeah, I think that this entire scene is just showing us, like, of course, since Hale is Dolores and vice versa, Dolores has the power to do the same things in this world that Hale does too. And like I said, we still haven't seen the rest of these Dolores copies. We haven't seen them. So, and they have been missing, right? And there are a bunch of copies. So I'm wondering what they're doing on their sides of the planet or their sides of the country. I'm wondering what's going on with that, But yes, Christina basically, in order to get out it's interrogation that Hale is putting her through, she basically makes some people run into each other in the back, by manipulating the same systems that Hale does, but I'm sure she doesn't fully know what is going on. And by her, I mean Christina. And she gets out the situation, but she knows that something is going wrong, right? Now, I already knew the moment that she starts searching up these motherfuckers' name in this database that something was going to happen, and here come her boss yet again. I'm talking about popping up out of fucking nowhere. You hear what I'm saying to you? And he gonna say, you need to come into my office, gonna speak to her like a fucking child, reprimanding her ass. I was just like, girl, you need to, it took way too long for Christina to be like, now you need to get the fuck up out my face. You need to, but he's here essentially doing what I thought would happen, just being like, girl, you already know Hale is you searching her name. Hale is looking around. You need to sit your ass down. He's this guy that you're talking about is not my problem. You're my problem. I was like, oh damn. But then so she then uses her fucking god powers and tells him this, yeah, you need to stop pointing my fucking face. You need to back the fuck up. And he does. He tells Christina gets him to leave, but before she does that, she asks him for answers, and she ends up getting an answer that is just like, ma'am, you've been writing everybody's story, you've been writing everybody's narratives, you've been writing everybody's shit. And I think about the amount of times that these hosts have had to wake up, or even vice versa, like humans, but like hosts have had to wake up in new worlds and regain their consciousness and all type of, it's just like how many lives these hosts, I know Dolores tired. She woke up realizing that she controlling bitches, she ain't realized this shit. Okay. This scene here with Will versus Will, the host Will versus human Will, is funny too, because host Will is freaking out. Okay. He is literally a Hale's slave. That's what he is. Completely dominated by her, and at the same time, of course, he's getting insulted because it's like, oh well, you're just a copy, and Hale, that's what Hale was saying, you're just a copy, and the original one is better, so can you pick up the slack? But Will, host Will is just like, bitch, I don't know who I am, can you tell me who I am? And human Will is getting a fucking kick out of it. Okay. Human Will is getting a kick out of it. He's like, sounds like you're at the center of your own maze, baby. Sounds like you need to be questioning the what do you call it? Question the state of your fucking have you ever questioned your own reality, sweetie? Because you're about to. Because you're about to. And then this final scene here with Dolores talking about, oh my God, who could do this to me? Who could ever do this to me? Who could do this to me? Teddy's like, bitch, are you serious? You're the one who did this. Teddy's like, are you serious? It's you, girl. It's you. Now it's so crazy how they spent this entire season making us feel so sorry for Christina, because she's trapped. But Dolores did the same shit to Hale. As a matter of fact, she did the same shit to every single other copy. She did the same shit to Teddy in earlier seasons. That's why he offed himself in the beginning. Dolores has controlled people. Charloris was born into this world as an arm, as a support for Dolores's master plan. She didn't have her own fucking identity, so Charloris flipped the script around on her ass. That was it. You know, so it's interesting to see these dynamics change. Now I'm wondering, like I said, this upcoming fight is gonna be so sickening between the two Doloreses. Ain't no telling. We probably gonna meet up with Maeve and the rest of them girls too. Bernard still got to we still got to see what's going on with Bernard. It's sickening. It's sickening. I want that fight to be so cunt. I want Maeve to use her powers. I want everybody to join up. Oh, bitch, we ain't even see what's going on with Caleb and Maeve yet. Child, they have been captured like shit. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. I feel really sorry for some of these characters coming up. I just feel like it's gonna be the end of the road, the end of the line for a lot of them. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all later.